Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav Mishra. I welcome you all to Kalam IAS. Today we will be having the trend analysis for internal security, which is part of your GS paper 3 syllabus. In trend analysis, we will be knowing from which part of syllabus this time UPSC have asked questions. We will be also be knowing how it was different from 2022 paper. Also, what was the weightage for internal security this time and how the trend are changing. So let's begin. For those who have not seen the paper till now, we'll be having a brief look on the paper. So in 10 marker, they have asked winning of hearts and minds in tourism affected areas is an essential step in restoring the trust of population. Discuss the measure adopted by government in this respect as a part of conflict resolution in Jammu and Kashmir. This was the first question. The second question in 10 marker was the use of unmanned aerial vehicles by our adversary across the border to ferry arms ammunition, drugs, etc. is a serious threat to internal security. Comment on the measures being taken to tackle the threat. Then again, there were 15 marker question also. What are the internal security challenge being faced by India? Give out the role of central intelligence and investigative agencies tasked to counter such threats. And the final question was give out the major sources of terror funding in India and the effort being made to curtail these sources. In the light of this, also discuss the aims and objective of No Money for Terror conference recently held in New Delhi, November 2022. So you have gone through the questions. How do you find it? Let's see. Now, if you see from which part of the syllabus these question has came. See, I have specially highlighted those parts, but we will be having a little more discussion. First thing, the question of Jammu and Kashmir. If you see, it was mainly about development, how the development has led to reduction of militancy. Then again, the question has been asked from border management. If you see the UAV question, that was directly about border management. Then again, linkage of organized crime with terrorism. There was a question on terrorism, about funding of terrorism, and then one more question about various security forces and agencies. If you see, the question of central intelligence and investigative agencies has been asked. Also, if you see the internal security challenge, this is a question that is very basic, and if you see in the syllabus everywhere it is about challenges. Sometimes a question comes that needs a thorough understanding, a basic understanding plus a thorough understanding of whole syllabus. Now, moving forward, how this question was different from 2022. So before that, let's see the 2022 paper. If you see in 2022, again the question has came from the syllabus itself. See, organized crime. Then if you see Naxalism, cyber security and maritime security, these were also directly from the syllabus itself. So how it is different from the paper, how it is different of 2022 and 2023. By now, if you have not recognized this, you can see, you can find that the question has related this time to more of current affair. Although in entire GS paper 3 this time, the weightage of current affair was very much high. But in internal security, if you see from these questions, question has directly come from current affair. No Money for Terror conference of November 2022. This is a direct question from current affair. You have to say the aims and objective. Also, if you see certain question which was not asked, that question has also came. If you see various security forces and agency and their mandate, this was the topic in internal security which was not asked previously, and they have touched this topic also this time. Further, if you break UAV, this was a relatively easy question because this was continuously in news. So the question of current affair was very important. Current affair was very important. We can take away for these points that the current affair is important. Also, previously those questions, those parts were not there, not asked, has been asked this time. So combining this, we can say that a relatively little tougher side was there from 2022, but overall it is very manageable. It was an easy question itself because there is only two things, basics and current affairs, and no question was like that you will not be knowing. Even if you have completed the syllabus very basically and gone through current affair, you will be easily attempting these questions. Now, if you weightage, there was no such changes. I have already told you many a times in class that internal security is a very easy paper. Each time, if you see, around 4 questions has been asked and 50 marks weightage is there. And if you see the preparation time, it is about 5 to 7 days you can prepare. अगर आप करंट अफेयर को गो थ्रू कर रहे हैं, हमेशा अपडेट कर रहे हैं अपने नोट्स को, तो बेसिक नोट्स करने के लिए 5-7 days भी काफ़ी है. And once you have done, it is done. This time also there was like 50 mark question, 2 10 marker and 2 15 marker that I have already shown you. Moving forward, अब वन बाय वन हम एक एक क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. क्वेश्चन कहाँ से आया था, कैसे था. तो पहला क्वेश्चन, we have taken the 15 marker. Give out the major sources of terror funding in India. The efforts being made to curtail these resources. In the light of this, also discuss the aims and objective of No Money for Terror conference recently held in New Delhi, November 2022. For this, if you see, it has like what you have to do. First part is like major sources and efforts. Time again, I have told you that in internal security, most important is government measures, government efforts. This is most important, the most important. If you see, 4 out of 3 questions has asked about government measures, government effort directly. So, initial part, what are the sources, then efforts. Sources, for example, charity, for example, oil. In IAS has sold oil, black marketing, then opium trade. So these were the sources. Then efforts, how you have to write? National and international, you have to divide, like FATF, carbon, money laundering. Then again, no money for terror, direct question. Aims and objectives, simple. It was the 3rd conference started back then by France. So you can write this question. If you see in your MIB document, a very thin document which we have given you, terror funding was already included. Talking about next question, what are the internal security challenges being faced by India? Give out the role of central intelligence and investigative agencies tasked to counter the threat. Again, 2 parts. First, challenges, and this is very basic question. Even in the first class itself, we have taught you this. Even this batch also, we are teaching this in the first class. You could write about external challenges between the hostile neighbors, Pakistan and China. Then again, geographical challenges about the porous border, how we are placed between the Golden Crescent and Golden Triangle, the opium trade going out through. You can write many points. Then give out the role of central intelligence and investigative agencies. Here you have to divide three agencies: RAW, then IB, and then NTRO. RAW for external intelligence, then IB for internal intelligence, then NTRO. So, intelligence and investigative agencies. You have to differentiate this. So, you can attempt this. Then again, the question from UIV. Use of unmanned aerial vehicles by our adversaries across the border to ferry arms and ammunition and drugs is a serious threat to internal security. Comment on the measures being taken to tackle the threat. So, again this question, if you see this question, it is like continuously you will see that there are something about UAV, whether be it BSF shooting down the drones, whether being new drone policies, whether being anti-rogue drone SOPs, whether at technological front deployment of DRDO's anti-drone system at Red Fort on the eve of Independence Day 2022. So, it is continuously in news. So, this type of question also comes on the topics which are continuously in news, and you can write them very well. In fact, this type of question becomes very easy. Now, coming back to the question, comment on the measures taken to tackle this threat. You can again divide it into policy measures, institutional measures, even technological measures, what you can take, use of technologies. Again, the question has been dealt in the MIB. You can see how smuggling of arms and ammunition was done through the use of UAV. Then we have seen till now that the current affair was very important in the whole of the paper. Most of the question has came directly or indirectly from current affairs. Now we will take the last question, and we will also discuss the question that how you have to attempt the questions. We will take one last question, 10 marker. Winning hearts and minds in terrorism affected area is an essential step in restoring the trust of population. So, this is a basic statement, and then the question is discuss the measure adopted by the government in this respect as a part of conflict resolution in Jammu and Kashmir. Again, if you analyze the question, we will see that again what has been asked, measures. This time government measures has been asked in most of the questions. Now, coming back how to attempt the question. This I will give you an example, and you try to write again. Those who are preparing for 2024, they should try to write the question, the previous three questions which we have discussed. The basic you know now, you know the current affairs, and through this what we will be dealing how to attempt that. You use this. This is just a manual, and you have to use that for writing the question. So, what we have to do in 10 marker question or 15 marker question, we have to divide this in three parts: introduction, main body, and conclusion. Introduction, suppose we have a 10 marker question, so we will be giving 10 to 25 around 20 to 25 words introduction, and then 10% to the conclusion, and rest will be body. Okay. So, what could be the introduction? In introduction, what you have to do? First, understand. You have to introduce the question that is linked. Introduce should be that the question should be linked. Since here, first before the question, an introductory statement has been made. So, what you have to do? You have to write an introduction as such that what the examiner intend to ask has been matched with the previous statement. One such introduction can be, for example, it was asked about the WAM, winning hearts and minds in terrorism affected area, and then it has asked about measures adopted. That means mostly related to developmental measures. one such policy is actually winning hearts and minds is an essential for stability of peace, prosperity, reducing the external threat, terror threats and local satisfaction. The Vajpayee doctrine of Kashmiriyat, Jumhuriyat and Insaniyat is exemplified in Kashmir, promoting peace through understanding and inclusivity. So, how this is an apt introduction? Because you have linked this first thing. Then, if you see the WAM, what is WAM? Winning heart and minds. This policy is actually very much older policy. In fact, books have been written on the policy. Also, the Vajpayee doctrine of Kashmiriyat, Jamhuriyat and Insaniyat is an old doctrine which still we follow. What is this doctrine? Kashmiriyat is about identity of people of Kashmir. Jamhuriyat is about democracy, and Insaniyat is all humanity. So the policy is such that it will lead to winning of hearts and minds. क्योंकि और क्या चाहिए, आपकी आइडेंटिटी के बारे में सोच रहा है, आपको डेमोक्रेसी दे रहा है, एंड देन you are also giving them humanity. It is not about force shooting. So this is a very good introduction. You can also write data introduction में क्या होता है, कैसे कुछ कोड्स लिख सकते हैं, कुछ डेटा लिख सकते हैं, तो ऐसे इंट्रोड्यूस किया जा सकता है. गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज ऐसा है, जो ओल्ड पॉलिसी है उसको आप ला सकते हैं. चलिए अब बात करते हैं बॉडी की. So what should be the ideal body? Think for a second. बॉडी में क्या करना है? बॉडी में आपको अब इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद डायरेक्ट पॉइंट पे आना. एंड व्हाट इज द पॉइंट? मेजर्स. तो व्हाट वाज द प्रीवियस थिंग? प्रीवियस थिंग इंट्रोडक्शन, वी हैव टोल्ड दिस इज द पॉलिसी, एंड द पॉलिसी के बाद इंप्लीमेंटेशन हो रहा है. इंप्लीमेंटेशन किस फॉर्म में हो रहा है? डिफरेंट पॉलिसीज. अब वो कैसे हो रहा है? आप इसको डायग्रामेटिक भी बता सकते हैं, आप इसको पॉइंट वाइज भी बता सकते हैं. कैसे देखते हैं? लेट्स सी. फॉर एग्जांपल, आप प्रेजेंटेशन को इंप्रूव करने के लिए, सी वी हैव सीन इंट्रोडक्शन, देन वी हैव सीन बॉडी, मेन बॉडी, एंड देन वी विल सी कंक्लूजन. व्हाट इज दिस इज प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर. देन वी आल्सो नीड marks on presentation, and finally you will see the content part. So all three things should be covered. Let's see about presentation. Presentation में क्या है? आराम से ऐसे छोटा सा डायग्राम बना दिया. What is about tackling terrorism, deepening political process and development of the region. What is this? This is multi-pronged strategy. Multi-pronged strategy. अब इस मल्टी-pronged strategy में हमने क्या किया? पहले किया टैकलिंग टेररिज्म. क्यों? क्योंकि जो प्रॉब्लम था वो टेररिज्म वाज द मेन कॉज, रूट कॉज. एंड हाउ वी आर डीलिंग दिस? थ्रू डिफरेंट मेजर्स. इंटरनेशनली आप देखिए कि हाउ in VN we are playing about Masood Azhar. The actions of Pakistan has been replied in a very strict manner. If you see after this Pulwama attack, then surgical strikes was done. So then terror funding, we have already seen how we are acting against terror funding. So these are the things. Even at a regional level, you will see that those who are like intelligence gathering is very good at this point of time. So in tackling terrorism you can write few points. Then developing political process. How? First of all, you can write about reorganization of Jammu Kashmir 2019. Then after that many laws were repealed which were old, because that was no use. But what you actually want to do, you want to give them democracy. Democracy should reach directly to them. And how? Through autonomous council. For example, Ladakh Autonomous Council, local elections, giving them more autonomy. Then the most important, after a situation where the terrorism has been controlled, you are giving them autonomy. What should be given? The process, the avenues for development, and how it is done through development of the region. For example, 80,000 crore package has been given. 80,000 crore package was given for development of the region of Jammu Kashmir. Then giving constructive engagement for the youths, opening of IITs, AIMS, job opportunity, income opportunity, 7th pay commission, engagement of youth. And finally, what you have to do? You have to change the perception. You can write finally what we are going to achieve is perception change. Then only you can win the hearts. And how perception change, both at nationally and internationally, in the region and outside the region. See, we are trying to do what? G20 summit कराने की कोशिश किए थे हम. Then मिस वर्ल्ड कॉन्टेस्ट कहाँ हो रहा है? इंडिया में, श्रीनगर में. एंड इससे क्या हो रहा है? परसेप्शन चेंज हो रहा है. एंड हाउ वी कैन सी UAE डूइंग FDI इन कश्मीर. सो परसेप्शन चेंज होके कितना इफेक्ट हो रहा है ये आप देख सकते हैं. सो ओवरऑल यू कैन राइट द मेन बॉडी लाइक दिस. What you have to note? You have to note structure, then presentation, and finally content. So, hey, content is the king. And in the last, you will be giving a conclusion. Conclusion कैसा हो? Good synthesis, positive way. So, what we have to do? We have to address the root cause here. So, root cause को address करना है, and then finally you will giving youthful youths an opportunity. And also every stockholders have to be contacted, they have to be managed. Consensus based approach होना चाहिए. So let's see one conclusion. By addressing the root cause of discontent and providing opportunity for the growth and reconciliation, these measures aim to rebuild trust and promote peace in the region. However, achieving lasting peace in Jammu Kashmir remains a complex challenge, required ongoing efforts, dialogue and cooperation from all the stakeholders both within and outside the region. यही तो हम कर रहे हैं. Finally, you can see how to address a 10-mark question. Also, we have seen the whole syllabus, कहाँ से question आए, then how it was different from the previous one, how the importance of current affair has gained again in internal security itself. Direct questions are being asked. Overall, the analysis for internal security has been done. Now, for those who are preparing for 2024 especially, there is a course Bootcamp for both prelims and mains. You can also buy the integrated package of prelims and mains. This could be very much helpful to you. You can check the details on our website. Thank you very much. Wish you a very good luck. Those who have written the mains and also those are preparing for 2024, you should from now itself start writing answers, start practicing questions. Thank you very much. Have a good day.